Yes.
Let's discuss adding value to the dollar, okay? And this is mainly a lecture.
Okay.
Let's talk about this topic. Now, this is a very important topic. The reason why it's important is customers are not always going to have the same perspective you have.
Right.
Meaning, for example, if you give a customer $80 a month, okay, for liability for one car, they're going to be comparing those 80 to maybe relatives or friends. So
Right.
they're not going to see the value of the $80.
Mhm.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
They're going to tell us, look, it's too expensive. So what could we do to add value to this option?
Justify the 80.
Justify the 80 by what? By using what type of topics or examples or scenarios
Well,
we use?
we would be using like the three types of
Just the justifying factors?
Yes.
Okay, so we can use the justifying factors. Okay? So now by telling them, look, based on your license, maybe they don't have a license, based on the fact that you don't have a license, okay, based on the fact that you live in Los Angeles, okay, and maybe based on the fact that you're 21, okay, no license, 21, and also living in Los Angeles, that may be enough. That's adding value to the $80 a month. So technically, adding value is in a way justifying, okay, that using information that's going to demonstrate why $80 is actually very, very good.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
Is that, for example, let's talk about let's say gift wrapping, for example.
Okay.
Okay. Just a quick scenario. Let's say, for example, it's your birthday. I show up and I give you a gift,
Mhm.
but I'm just using a regular plastic bag.
Mhm.
Okay? Right? And then you get another gift from someone else, and it's nicely wrapped, you know, everything.
Okay.
You know, it looks beautiful.
Okay.
What's gonna attract your attention?
The one that's nicely wrapped,
Why?
because it looks like they put more thought into it. They actually
It has
wrap
more
it.
value.
Yeah.
Okay? Of course, we're always gonna say the thought is what, you know, what counts as the thought.
Mhm.
Say. But at the end of the day, when we talk about value, you know, that gift, which is nicely wrapped, someone took the time and effort to wrap it, okay,
Right.
to make it look beautiful. And it does look a lot better than just the gift in a plastic bag.
Mhm.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
You don't care what's in the box, it's just the fact that it just looks nice.
Yeah.
So we're making that gift a lot better than what it is. That's technically what adding value to the option means, okay?
Okay.
Maybe that box has a gift that's $10
Mhm.
and the plastic bag has a gift that's $1,000.
Mhm.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
But the fact that wrapping the gift, okay, is making it a lot better than what it is.
Right.
So when we talk about adding value to the dollar, it's making it seem a lot better than what it is, okay? By using a lot of information, using examples, using different type of real life scenarios to make it seem like the 80 is something that no one else can get. For
Right.
example, let's continue discussing the $80 a month. I could tell them, look, I'm adding value to the dollar. I could tell them, look, out of 70 different companies, there's only one company under 100. And that's Alliance. That's the option that I'm giving you for $80 a month. The second lowest company is $120 a month. What am I doing?
You're justifying the 80. You're making it, like you said, you're making it look good.
I'm making the $80 look a lot better than what it is.
Right.
By giving them information, by telling them, look, the second lowest option, if you're not interested with 80, you're stuck with 120.
Right.
So I'm telling them, look, even though you have a lot of options, this is the best option, because the second best option, it's about $40 more.
Okay.
So do you see how that works?
Yes.
So technically, adding value may allow the customer to look at the big picture.
Mhm.
It's like, for example, thinking outside of the box.
Right.
Okay, like let's use another example. Let's talk about, let's say, for example, a vehicle that's being financed. Okay, and remember, we're talking of adding value to the dollar. Okay, let's say, for example, a customer that comes in and we give them 140 monthly, okay, for full coverage, okay? And he's telling us, look, you know, it may not be the best option, but it's cheaper than what he was paying. Let's say he was paying 60. So that's a difference of $20, correct?
Yes.
Adding value to the dollar, once again, means making it a lot better than what it is, okay? By using different type of scenarios. So if we use calculation as a method of adding value to the dollar, we could emphasize on the fact that those 20 times 12 equals 240, correct?
Yes.
So we're saving them 240 every single year. Does this sound a lot better than just telling them, look, I'm saving you $20?
Oh, yes. Sounds a lot better.
Now let's continue adding value to the dollar. Let's ask the customer, how many years remaining do you have to pay off your loan? And if the customer tells you 3 years, then let's multiply those 240 times 3. Okay, now we're saving the customer, what is it, 720 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
720 in the course of 3 years. So now we're telling them, look, there's $720 in your pocket right now. By you making a decision today, not only am I saving you $20 a month, I'm also saving you $240 throughout the whole year. And on top of that, since you still have 3 years remaining to pay the vehicle off, you're stuck financing the car, okay, and having insurance for the rest of, you know, your loan. So that means $720 for the rest of the year. So doesn't that sound a lot better than simply telling the customer, look, I'm saving $20 a month?
Oh, a lot better.
So adding value to the dollar means giving them information to allow the customer to look at a bigger picture.
Right.
The obvious in the box picture is $20 monthly, okay? But if we start looking at the long term, he's gonna pay it for the whole year. He's gonna pay it for an additional 2 years, so a total of 3 years. Why? Because he is financing a vehicle and he still has 3 years remaining. So if we multiply this times the 3 years, then we're giving him something a lot cheaper.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's use one last example, adding value to a dollar. Is there any example that you want to review?
That I can think of right now, no.
Okay. So let's look at a different scenario. Let's just imagine, let's say for example, a customer, okay, the husband and the wife, okay, the husband is paying $80 a month, okay, just for himself, 2 vehicles, 2 cars, liability, so that's about $40 a month, okay, and then he's interested 50-50 on adding his wife. So let's say for example, let's say adding his wife is $119. It's an additional almost what, $39.
Yes.
Okay, so customer may tell us, no, you know what, let me keep the policy the way it is. Let me just keep paying the $80 a month, because definitely an additional $40 may not be something beneficial for me.
Right.
So how do we add value to this? Number one, we ask them, how many days does your wife drive? Does she drive constantly, or does she drive once in a while? Find out exactly the exposure that they're having. So regardless of what they say, even if they say once in a while, that means more than once a week.
Right.
Okay? So then you could just be more specific. Does she drive 2 to 3 days a week? And then you go back and you emphasize on the fact that from 2 to 3 days out of the week, that's more than enough for her to be involved in a situation.
Right.
Okay? Now, so taking a risk when she's driving the vehicle constantly is not worth it. $40 is a lot better than taking a risk. Another thing that we can emphasize, what if something happens? Your wife is gonna hold you accountable, okay? Because you're the one that's making the decision for insurance.
Right.
So we could you know, break the ice, be sarcastic a little bit, and tell them, look, what's gonna happen if your wife is involved in an accident and, you know, she doesn't have insurance? What's gonna happen to you?
It's gonna sleep on the couch.
You're sleeping on the couch for a while, okay? Do you wanna have issues with your wife? Do you guys have a good relationship right now? Most likely everyone's gonna say yes, even if they don't.
Right.
Okay? They're not gonna be honest about that. But you can emphasize on the fact that, look, if you really want to have issues, then don't add her to the policy, because if something happens and she's responsible to pay $3,000 out of pocket, okay, that's a lot of money that most likely you're gonna have to help her. You guys are gonna have issues.
Right.
So why, leave a door open of any issues within you and your wife when you could just make a decision? $40 really worth, one, having your wife go through a lot of headaches, a lot of legal problems, financial problems, and two, for you to have any issues with your wife.
Right.
And then number three, do you really care about your wife? That's how we're gonna get them.
Yeah.
Do you care about your wife? Do you want the best for your wife? Because it seems like right now that you're only thinking about your pocket.
Right.
What about being protected?
Right.
That's adding value to the dollar. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then you put the customer in a different perspective, where now they're thinking about the situation completely different.
Right. They're actually thinking those $40 are.
Those $40 may not be, may not mean anything, okay, compared to the risk and the exposure and the issues that they're gonna have.
Right.
Any questions as far as this?
No.
So once again, just to summarize, adding value to the dollar technically means making the option seem a lot better. By using situations, by using examples, by using a lot of different information that's gonna allow the customer to look at the situation completely different. Okay?
Okay.